Welcome to this latest Thursday Thoughts edition of the Ril Dil podcast on this Thursday, February 27th, 2020. I'll just keep you a couple of minutes. A light, and I mean light night in the NBA. This is a night that if you're an NBA fan, you could just take off. No LeBron tonight against Golden State, rightfully so. You should absolutely rest him. There's no reason to waste LeBron on a game against basically a G League team. So I have no problem with that. Of course, you had a couple of major showdowns in the last couple of days in the NBA. We'll begin with the Zion, the Lakers Pelicans game, and to me, this was all about Zion. I know LeBron was tremendous with the 40, basically 48-6. Anthony Davis was for the most part held in check because he had to, for a lot of the game or some of the game had to check LeBron, had to check Zion, which certainly took its toll on him. But Zion Williamson is going to be just the next. He is the next thing, and it has to be scary for the rest of the league that he is not all the way in the greatest of shape. Not that he's out of shape. Like I think this narrative about his weight. Well, there were reports saying he could be in excess of 300 pounds. It doesn't matter right now because he's killing people. Like, so I don't, to me, his weight is only an issue if he were injured or if he were playing bad. If he sucked on the court. He's been great. Like, he's gotten off to basically a historical start in terms of his first 12 to 15, 14 games as a rookie. So I don't want to hear anything about his weight when he's playing great. And it has to be scary for the rest of the league that, you know, when he gets into tip-top shape over the course of an entire offseason with no surgeries, and you can just focus on basketball, he's going to be it's going to be hell to pay on the basketball court dealing with that dude. And I'm telling you right now, as a Laker fan, I don't want to see the Pelicans in the first round. I'm just be honest with you. That team is athletic. They're young. I don't think they're afraid of the Lakers. Ingram had a big game. I think those guys, Hart, Ingram, Lonzo Ball, I think those guys have a chip on their shoulder facing the Lakers for the Anthony Davis trade, even though, you absolutely make the trade. And Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson can wreck a series. Now, they can't beat the Lakers, but they can make the Lakers sweat a bit, make them maybe take a game, make the series more harder than a number one seed should have to play in the first round. And that team is really not an eighth seed when you think about it. I mean, they got off to a slow start with the injuries, no Zion, but that team really, when you look at them in comparison to the rest of the Western Conference, I mean, they're not 8 teams better than the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans are a legit top 6, 7 seed in the Western, maybe a 6 seed in the Western Conference if everybody were healthy and if Zion started off the year. So that's a team that the Lakers, I wouldn't want. That's a team that I don't want to see as a Laker fan. I'm telling you that right now. But more than likely, they will see them. They will see them. I can't see Memphis making the playoffs, and the Pelicans have the softest schedule out of all the teams that are contending for that final spot in the that final eighth seed. Then you had Toronto, Milwaukee in a showdown. Great basketball game to watch from a standpoint of the play. They had a playoff type feel. And I love teams when they are taken out of their comfort zone and seeing what they have to do in order to win at a high level. Milwaukee did not shoot the ball well. They struggled in the first half, but on the road in one of the toughest places to play, they were able to lock up defensively in the second half. And Giannis was tremendous in that game. And you're gonna look at his numbers, you'll say, well, he didn't shoot. He was 5 for 14. He had 19 rebounds, eight assists, and 3 blocks. And again, they still don't. The thing that bothers me about Milwaukee, a couple things. Number one, I should feel a lot more confident about a team that's 50-8 and with a 12.2 point differential, which is historic. Should feel more confident about that team in the postseason. But another thing that bothers me about that team is they don't know how to get him. They don't know how to get Giannis the ball in the half court situation. He can post up. He has improved his turnaround jump shot in terms of that little short turnaround. He's improved his overall shot in terms of even his 3-point percentage. but he is a tremendous post player. He gets, I mean, they don't use him enough in the post. So I'm concerned about that. And again, they will go as far as Chris Middleton or whoever emerges as the second best player takes him. I know what I'm going to get out of Giannis. He's going to be the MVP this year, and I don't know why we even continue to have conversations about that. That award is over. It's only a matter of whether or not it's going to be unanimous. But can Chris Middleton play at this level in the postseason? Because that's the major question. Can you win a championship with Chris Middleton as your second best player? So we'll see about that. Toronto, again, is going to be a tough out in the playoffs. They're going to be, because that home court that they have a championship pedigree. They're great defensively, but they don't to me have a go-to guy in the fourth quarter in a half court game that can get them buckets. Siakam, I don't see on that level as of yet. We know Lowry can be contained at times. They have a bunch of nice pieces, but they don't. Again, you need a guy that can get you a bucket. You need a guy that can command double and triple teams. They don't quite have that. Philadelphia dealing with some serious injuries in regards to Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons with the back. Now Embiid, who is the epitome of Mr. Glass, is out. Is out again. What's new? With his injury, and again, with Embiid, you never know when he's going to get hurt. It's gotten to a point where it's not a question of if, it's a matter of when he's going to get hurt. And if I'm Philadelphia, I think in the offseason, I would seriously consider moving him and building around Ben Simmons. That's just my thoughts on that. I cannot trust Embiid to stay healthy for the next 2 to 3 years. I don't. I think you're on a year-to-year thing with Embiid. I think you better get rid of him before he just completely breaks down. Because to me, it's only just a matter of time before he has little to no trade value. Right now, he still has some value. Right now, he's considered still to be a top 10 player, best big man in the league. But by the month, that value is diminishing because you just don't know when he's going to play, and you don't know how long he can stay healthy. So we got that going on. Again, Lakers will have the Pelicans again tomorrow night. Bradley Beal's 50-game streak came to an end last night. He only had 30, which is remarkable as well. And just again, it's a perfect example of an absolute waste of talent on a horrible team. I wish that's the trade I was screaming for in the offseason for Milwaukee. Trade Chris Middleton for Bradley Beal. But they're going to roll with Middleton. They weren't going to have the guts. That trade was never in play, in motion, as it is. That was for me a fancy draft, a fancy trade as far as trade machine type deal. But Bradley Beal is a tremendous player, and again, his talent is absolutely being wasted on one of the worst franchises in all of sports, definitely in the NBA. It's going to wrap it up for this edition of Real Deal Podcast Thursday Thoughts. I'm out.